Hey everybody, what's up? I'm just laying it out there. Long gone are the days when the words "don't speak to your mother that way" have existed in society. When I was raised in my home, I had mom and dad. They weren't perfect. Mom was a disciplinarian. Dad was he was a softie. He said, "Do what you want, just don't tell your mom." But I knew, because I was raised in a family filled with individuals who demanded respect for moms, grandmas, aunts, uncles, great aunts, etc. And it's just the way it was. But in the past 2 decades, since the rise of divorce, we've had to deal with kids who have learned it's a-okay to speak to your mother that way. We had to deal with kids who would call the cops on us if they had their cell phones taken away or disciplined in any manner that they were not satisfied with. There are always threats that they were going to turn us into CPS and have us arrested for whatever. That's when they took control. After my divorce, my ex-husband and his wife invested all of their time poisoning my children. When my youngest daughter moved out, she was about 19, stayed with my sister. My sister told me that my ex-husband's wife, their stepmom, would call them all the time and talk crap about me. They did this while my daughters were teenagers as well, because my daughters would go over to see their dad one Saturday a month, and they'd come back and say, "Dad and so were asking about you." So the seeds were planted long before my daughters left the house. Believe it or not, my sister told me that she told their stepmom and dad to knock it off, to quit calling my daughters, that it wasn't necessary. I believe it's disrespect masked as love. You have become the emotional and mental and unfortunate, sometimes physical punching bag for your children. We believe we've had to take it, but we're not going to take it anymore. I will no longer allow anyone to disrespect me regardless. Why? Because I'm kind, I'm a nice person, I'm gentle, I have a good heart, and I have compassion for others. When you don't have others around you that demand your children respect you, that's when you've lost your grasp on your children and they fall prey to the cult of parental estrangement. My daughters had been disconnected from me for, I don't know, 9 or 10 years. And then my maternal grandmother turned 100 and she was passing away. She had congestive heart failure. Now, her and I were very close. My youngest daughter walked into my grandmother's home, sat adjacent to me, next to my grandmother's lap. And when I attempted to speak to her, she ignored me. Not one person in that room, and we have a huge family. Not one person, not my sisters, my mom, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, no one stood up and said to my daughter, "You need to respect your mom." Instead, they welcomed her with open arms and "welcome back" and "long time no see," etc. But no one stood up for me. Instead, my oldest sister told me if I talked to my daughter, she was going to call the cops on me. And they all, my sister and other people, rallied around her, acting as if they had to protect her with some invisible force field, like they did in Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movie. And if it was one of my favorite scenes. So the disconnect between you and your children happened long before they decided to ghost you. I have been going through this for 15 years, so I've had time to look back, see where things started to fracture and put things into perspective. Stop allowing your children to disrespect you, and make sure you hang out with people who have your back. Where if your son or daughter mouths off to you, disrespects you, talks back, gets into trouble, you have someone else in your life. A strong man would really help. A dad, uncle, cousin, neighbor, etc., that says to your kids, knock it off. You're not going to talk to your mother this way. And that's probably what mostly would have helped me, and may have in the past. So anyways, that's one facet of all of this. If you take a step back, let your kids go, and look at all the pieces in this puzzle, you'll find out there are more people playing roles in your estrangement than you ever thought possible. So anyways, that's what I have. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I will be back.